But you got the rubber on tyres.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got suspension almost.
Yeah, it's like transformed it.
Yeah.
But Greg said to us, he says you'll have to put some rubbers on it. All right, he says you're shaking that much. He said if you don't put rubbers on it, I'm buying you a sports bra.
Jeans and a 4x4, cruising down to your front door. From the closest pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of Chipping Steam Fair. It's a little bit damper than it was.
Slightly moist.
Yeah, slightly moist today. So hopefully you might have seen part 1, which was effectively the Greg Pinder show. So we had a good look round of what he's
Greg
brought.
Pinder ring.
The Greg Pinder ring, yeah. And what a fantastic ring it is.
It's a lovely ring.
It is a lovely ring piece. So we had a good look around some of his machines that he brought, and we had a go on the mighty Ford FW30. So we're here at day 2. We're just hopefully going to catch up with a few people today, some of the organisers, some of the exhibitors, and our first victim of today, well, you might have seen him before on one or two.
Other side of camera.
And we're going to say he's normally on the other side of the camera. So this is cameraman Chris. You may know him for that. He also does many other things, works at BNFL, but he's also one of the...
Work's a strong word.
Work's a strong word, yeah. But you also have quite a lot of involvement in Chipping Steam Fair.
We do.
Chris, what is your involvement with this this fantastic event?
Well, 20 years ago we started just helping out when it were Harry and Otto boys, and we've progressed then on to doing being the steam steward. So we organise and look after all steam engines, miniatures and large.
Right.
Get them all here and just look after them over at weekend, really.
Yeah, so it's mainly the steam lot that you look after, right?
Yeah.
Because there's lots of elements to it, isn't it? You've got your classic tractors and you've got all your
So we split it
stalls
up
and
into
everything.
different sections, really, make it a bit easier. So like there's a commercial steward, a tractor steward, steam steward. Every different bit has its own person in charge of it, and then everyone's got a go-to person then, really.
That's it.
But I'd probably say mine's probably the most labour-intensive.
Oh, is
one.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the most of it, Chris.
Yeah. Well, they all like watering up in the morning, and then they all want a bit of coal, and yeah, no one else has to lug 2 ton of coal around every morning and mess about with water and stuff.
Well, that's it. They're a fair thing, you know, in terms of steam engines. They're a fair thing to keep going, keep running, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Well, they need a bit of attention and love, don't they?
That's it, yeah.
And they're probably, well, they are the biggest thing upfield as well, so
yeah.
Which has been a bit tricky this year with ground conditions.
And they're a big attraction as well, aren't they? I mean, you know,
oh, well,
they are the steam
part
of
the
the
steam
fair,
fair,
aren't
isn't it? So we have to have steam engines, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
These lads here emptying ash out.
That's it. Well, like I say, it's a big job every morning because it's a 2-3 hour job, isn't it? These guys steaming up and getting
Yeah, well,
going.
these lads, when they eventually get out of bed, which depends on the night before what time that is, they've obviously tubes to clean out engines, ash pans to clean out.
Yeah.
And then luckily here they get the coal fed to them, and then they'll be watered up before they're all out of bed.
Right.
Make sure there's no nails in it.
That's all right then.
And is that part of the job from Chipping Steam Fair's point of view, or any steam fair? You provide coal and water and all that sort of stuff?
Generally, yeah. Like, well, yeah, we have to provide water for them, obviously, because they can't run without it. And
no, and you got many steam exhibitors this year? Is it about
we've got 18. No, we are up this year because we've obviously got the ploughing.
I was going to say, we saw that yesterday when it was dry.
Last year, and then so we've 2 in there with the mole plough.
Yeah.
And then these 2 have come, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get them in working.
These are ploughing engines, aren't they?
Just due to ground conditions, really.
These are a pair of Fowlers, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the 2 that are in the playpen, one's a Fowler, one's...
What is Chief?
I don't know what Chief is. We'll have a look later. I'll go and have a chat with Flash and see what the crack is. But these are fair things, these aren't they? These are impressive when these are working.
These have come up from Cheshire Way, these 2.
Right.
Not owned by the same person, but...
Right. No. Ground stuff. Well, Spot on, Chris. I'll let you crack on. I'll let you answer this radio that you put on mute for a while.
Well, it's only there for show.
Oh, that's it. Makes you looking. But you get the IVs, you got the radio.
This has only just got put. I don't put an IVs on. I like to be inconspicuous.
All right, you go incognito.
Incognito.
Right.
Yeah.
Job.
You get a job if you know who you are.
Right, job's good. Right, I'll leave you to it. You can crack on.
Catch you in a bit.
I'll go and see who else we can mither.
There's plenty of people to mither.
Job's good. Right, spot on.
Grant.
Catch you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Right, ladies and gents, we are now joined by Mr. Ian Taylor, aka Flash, of West Lancs Hydraulics, who's now going to talk us through the ploughing engine that you've been restoring and showing off today at Chipping Steam First. So, Ian, let's have a look at her, shall we? So, what we got here? What is she?
Well, it's a Fowler B4 built in 1909.
Right.
And I believe it's the only surviving B4 class ploughing engine left. Working ploughing engine left.
Really?
Yeah. It's there's a rumour there's two in a museum in South Africa, but there'll be people that do know that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's first debut out in the public, and we've had a good 4 or 5 months doing it up. I've done a lot of work inside the firebox.
I was going to say, because last time I saw this in your yard, it was in a lot of pieces.
It was in a lot of pieces, yeah. So we had to do a lot of work in the firebox. So it's a case of stripping the back axles down. We pulled the back axle apart and took it out, and in there there's some cast wheel bearings. So I've machined some new cast wheel bearings up. I've had the axle, I put it in lathe at work, and I've spun that back round again because it was all over the place. But at the same time, the final drive, which you can't see unfortunately,
Just
it's
under there
in
somewhere,
that guard
yeah, just in there.
So we had all the wheels off and we had the guard, and you could drop the final drive.
All right.
So
there were a bit of playing it then.
A bit of playing it, but it was a bit dangerous really. So I made a new third shaft, which is sat there. And
so that's that one, is it? That's
that
a
one.
brand new fresh shaft, that is.
Yeah, that's brand new. I remachined the bearings back round using the old bearings, so I just oversized the shaft. We've had the gears off that end there as well, so we had to machine all that gear up to suit the new shaft. What else have we done? We've pulled, I've gone through it as much as I can on the top end.
Yeah.
But I'm a novice to this in one respect, so
right.
It's learning as you go. I've had some great help off some good friends.
I'm going to say, I bet that's the fun part of it,
Yeah.
just learning how all this stuff goes together and how it all works and whatnot.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like Greg's helped me, Mark's helped me, and it's been great for them to be involved with it. And then I've had Mark Jones, he was driving with us on Friday when we drove it here.
Yeah.
And then there's Guy with that engine as well. So the support I've had, it's been brilliant.
Well, that's it with steam engine community, isn't it? You all sort of just help each other out.
Yeah, it is. And I've painted it to the to the standards of a good ploughing engine, if you will. And I've relagged the boiler, and I've done it the old-fashioned way in timber. And you can see a glimpse of the timber in there.
Right. What made you go for timber? Because do they shy away from that these days? Because that's what they would have used. But now...
I wanted to do it as they did it traditionally, you know.
Yeah.
And I've left like a gap between the timber and the boiler, so any condensation or any water, it'll get down and it'll fall out, so it's not rotting the boiler.
Right.
But it's a dead genuine engine because the boiler it's the original boiler from 1909.
You're joking?
And it's in really good condition, so I like to look after it, you know.
So where did you find this then? Where did you come by this?
It was a chat for another friend of mine, Mike Priestner. He put us onto it for a fella. He'd finished with it really. He'd not been out for 7 or 8 years.
Right.
So he wanted to go to a good home. So yeah, he's gone to a good home. So
she's a beauty.
She is a beauty.
And you were telling me yesterday when you were coming here, there was a few little teething troubles, and you can end up taking pieces off one and put them on the other.
Yeah, well, Fowlers were good because they used their out of the house when they were building engines, and they made a lot of stuff the same. So I lost a little, the big ends oil pot. You can just see it going round on the big end there. Yeah, no, I lost one of them. That come flying off. And then the wedge in the little end here, that come out.
Oh, that little thing there.
Yeah, and luckily John Johnson in Banks, we borrowed some off him. So yeah, we've got back up and running. Like.
That's it. It's amazing they had the foresight to do that back then.
It is. But again, like I say, bits have gone wrong, and there's been people out there to help you.
Yeah.
You know.
So you got a touch of showman's on this now, have you?
Well, no, he's come off a roller.
All right.
So there was a lad, Tom. Because on Friday when we come on Friday, was the chief. And he was towing the guy who has the chief, he was towing the mould drainer.
So chief's at far end there. What engine's that then?
That's a single cylinder Fowler.
That's another Fowler.
Yeah,
right?
so 1875 that was built.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an amazing engine that.
Yeah.
That's my favourite that.
Is it?
Yeah, I love that engine.
So that's the next one, is it? Potentially.
No. It's guy has a pair. He has the other engine to that. So because they were built in pairs with ploughing engines.
Yeah. As you'd expect,
yeah, yeah, and the sister engine to this got chopped up in 50s, I believe.
Right.
And this got saved from scrapyard, like. So, but so today, well, hopefully we'll start doing some mould draining.
It's a bit damp today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But I know when we were working, obviously we got a load of footage, which hopefully you'll be seeing now. We got a load of footage of it yesterday when it was a touch drier, but it is amazing to see these ploughing engines working together and how they did it. Yeah. I know it's only a short run here, but it gives you that flavour, doesn't it? That impression.
Yeah.
And you bloody brought this, you roaded this, didn't you?
Yeah, we drove
From your place at Tarleton, near Tarleton.
Near Tarleton,
to here chipping.
Yeah.
19
miles.
How many miles?
19 miles.
19 miles in how many hours?
We set off, I think it was about 2:30.
Yeah.
We got here about 9 o'clock.
Right.
So, had to make a few water stops.
Oh, is that what you're calling them?
Yeah.
Water stops? They just happened to be outside.
The plough.
Yeah.
The ploughing engine.
In my village.
The ploughing engine outside the plough. It
had to be done, didn't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was a great day. Yeah. And like I say, I've never taken this engine that far, and yeah, it was good. But there's a lot of nuts and bolts missing off it where it's dropped. It's shaking itself to pieces. So.
But you got the rubber on tyres. I mean, you've got suspension almost.
Yeah, it's like transformed it.
Yeah.
But Greg said to us, he says you'll have to put some rubbers on it. All right. He says you're shaking that much. He said if you don't put rubbers on it, I'm buying you a sports bra. So yeah, I'm putting rubbers on it.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah.
And these are for a tractor, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. One of Case
quad track.
Case quad track. They're off, and so we
from JPM Agriculture. Just in case you're watching, we'll give them a plug.
Yeah, that's the one. So he very kindly give us the old tracks, which are no good to him anymore.
Yeah.
So I cut it in half, and then I chainsaw all drive lugs off, and then I got an angle grinder, and you can buy it's like a cheese grater to sit in angle grinder. You shaves it all flat, and we sliced it down the middle, and then rolled it on. And as we were rolling it on, we were bolting it too. So yeah. And I thought it wasn't the job I was looking forward to, but it was a good job in end, and like I said, we had a crack doing it.
Well, that's it. That's what it's all about. And there's a lot of crack with this, isn't there?
Of course there is. Yeah. That's all. It's good fun. So
Well, Flash, thank you very much for your time. That's been perfect.
Good.
That. We'll go and see what else we can find.
Yeah, a pint hopefully.
Well, if we get another rain shower, you know what we have to do, don't
that
we?
way.
That's it. John, spot on.
Cheers. Thanks, yeah.
Right, ladies and gents, we now continue our coverage of the Chipping Steam Fair 2024, and I'm now joined by Mr. Anthony Cowell, a local lad to me in the village of Grimsby, famous for your generator hire company.
Correct.
And of course, you've got quite a fair old collection of tractors and steam engines and organs as well, and you brought you brought a few of them out to this event this week. So, Anthony, talk us through what you've got. What we've got. We'll start over here behind you, shall we?
Well, we brought a Burrells steamroller, which is they're all local stuff that I have, but this worked for Leyland Council.
Right.
And then it was sold into preservation and has been down in Cheshire for a good number of years. We bought it about 4 or 5 years ago, and just recently we've given it a repaint, and quite proud to bring it up
It
to
looks
chipping.
really smart. Did you have to do much to it when you got it a few years ago?
Well, all these things are mechanical. They're always needing something, so you know it's an ongoing maintenance program. But no, we haven't done too much to it. We repaired the canopy and odd jobs where it needed, and then, like I said, this last 2 or 3 weeks it's had a repaint. So it was new in, I think, 1913, something like that. It came to Lancashire, and it was only retired from the council in the late 50s, early 60s.
Really?
So you know, they had a good working life out of it.
I'm going to
definitely,
say,
yeah.
they're getting the most out of it, isn't they?
And it's the last driver on it for the council was a chap called Ernie Cooper, and it's called Old Ernie now, just as a nod of the cap to the old driver.
That's it. And like when it was on these jobs, on these council jobs, obviously it did its rolling work and that sort of stuff. Would it have dragged other machines to the job as well? Or?
No, probably not. No, the road rollers didn't tend to be used for that.
They
It
were
was
just specific
for
rolling machines.
rolling the
right.
roads. Yeah, this is a heavy roller. It's rated as a 10 ton, but probably weighs in reality about 12 tons.
All right.
But,
Right.
and it was quite a skill driving them because the weight distribution isn't the same on the front rolls as it is on the back. So it was you know, the skill of the operator to make sure that it rolled the road in a uniform.
Yeah. And what sort of split would it be in terms of weight from?
I'm not so sure, to be honest.
Front to back.
But
Because obviously you can see there's quite
more
a bit
weight
of
there.
quite a bit of bulk at the back.
Yeah,
isn't there?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also on the other side there is a scarifier, which was used for ripping up the road. So if you had a patch to do, just sort of metal tines that could be lowered down into the floor.
Is that on it now? Is it?
The top part of it is, the bottom is missing, but
Right.
the mechanism is here.
Right.
So there will be a piece inside with tines down into the floor,
Yeah.
and it could just be lowered down and then dragged along and rip up the road. You see, the roads that we were talking about originally weren't sort of tarmac roads like today. It was water-bound stone roads, so they would rip up a lot easier than sort of the sort of track we've got here. But you know, they could take a piece out and repair it. And there you've got reference to the Leyland Urban District Council.
There we go. That's where it's come from. That's the name, Old Ernie there.
Yeah. So the other end of our little show is the Burrell steam tractor, which this is our pride and joy, really. Again, built by Charles Burrell and Sons of Thetford in Norfolk, and in 1907 the RAC organised a trial for steam tractors and steam wagons and all sorts of vehicles.
Yeah.
The steam tractor section was won by the Burrell company with this type of vehicle.
Really?
So after that it was always named the gold medal tractor. They won the gold medal on the day, and in 1907 rather, you know, it was much as today they used it as a marketing tool. It's the gold medal tractor.
That's it.
And they're still
the gold standard.
Still referred to as that today. So they're very special. They're a compact size. They were rated as a 5-ton tractor, but in reality it will weigh nearer 8 tons.
Yeah.
But when they were weighing these things, to get around the legislation, you know, they would strip everything off that wasn't necessary.
So canopy,
box at the back, you know, it will be weighed without any water in it. Anything they could take off, firing irons, they have no coal on it, etc. To get the weight down.
So even back then, they were jumping through hoops and red tape and legislation.
Absolutely, yeah. But as a steam tractor, it's got 3 speeds. It's on springs. Got extra water carrying capacity in the belly tank. So we sort of travel on the roads with this machine. So we'll average sort of 10 or 12 miles an hour quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And with the extra water, we can cover sort of 25 to 30 miles before we need to stop to pick up water. So we're not holding the traffic up too much. This was new to a timber company in Norfolk in 1919. And then so it will be hauling timber, and then it had a spell on a farm in Norfolk where it will be used for driving threshing machinery, general haulage. And then in 1944, it came through a dealer up to Isaac Ball and Sons at Warrells near Kirkham. There's a badge on the back there showing their name.
Oh, there we go.
So from 1944 to late 50s, it was used by Isaac Balls. Early on they kept it as a tractor, so it was used for haulage, moving balers, threshing machines, perhaps driving the equipment. And then in the in the late 50s, there was a lot of new housing estates around Blackpool, etc. Because this was a fast engine,
Yeah.
they converted it to a roller then, so it had 2 or 3 years as a roller, but they could get it round the sites pretty quick. And then in the 1970s, 1970, it was bought for preservation by a chap called George Howard from Banks near Southport, and he restored it. And then I used to help him as a young boy, and then it was always my ambition to own this one. It took me a long time to save up and afford
Yeah.
it, but eventually I was able to buy it after it had gone through 2 or 3 owners. And then again, you know, it's a labour of love. We're always doing something at it.
It sounds like she's been an all-rounder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it was built for, and that's why they won the gold medal. You know,
Yeah.
they were a good machine, easy to drive, easy to look after, and did the business.
Good stuff. And if we spin round, obviously it's shut up now because we've just
Aye.
we've had 1 or 2 showers this morning.
Yeah, yeah. If you give me 2 minutes, James, I'll put the covers up,
Right,
and then
go on,
we'll show you what
You
we've
pop
got in
it
here.
up. We'll have a look.
So here we have it's a 1927 Mortier dance organ, built in Antwerp in Belgium, and in the Low Countries this type of instrument was very popular, and in the 20s, 30s, well, earlier than that and later than that, they were used for dances in like a mobile tent that would go around the village greens, set the tent up, put the organ in, play music, and people would pay to dance, much as, you know, you go to
Right.
the village hall in this country, but this is what
This
was
was
used.
the mobile disco back in the day.
Absolutely, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So there's different types of organ. I have to confess, I am a bit addicted to organs.
Right. Well, I've seen a few at your place. There's 1 or 2 knocking about.
So I have 2 dance organs, this one and then a moderner type, which has accordions on, etc. And then there's a fairground organ, which is a lot louder and a lot brashier.
Right.
and then-
to attract attention.
Yes,
to...
on the English fairgrounds.
Right.
And then also the Dutch street organ, which is again a more mellow sound. But this instrument is good to bring to a rally because it's not too loud. We put the benches out, people can sit and listen when it's not raining, and it just adds a little bit of atmosphere to the occasion. The vehicle that this is on is quite interesting as well, because that's a Leyland freighter wagon, which is now 25 years old and has only done 5,000 miles from brand new.
He's joking.
No, it was a demonstrator in the factory, and we were able to get it under the organ some years ago. But it's we don't travel it very much, so we still don't put many miles on it. But it's, you know, it's a collector's item in its own right.
Absolutely, and it's a great combination, isn't it?
Yeah, it works
really
well.
does look good together.
Works well. Yeah. Would you like to hear it play?
Go on.
Come in the back. I'll put some music.
I was going to
through.
say, let's have a look behind it, behind the scenes. This is where I slip on my face. So it's all sheet music, is it?
Yeah, it's punch card. So this is what is called the key frame, and the instrument is 101 keys. So there's 101 keys full length of there,
Right.
and then the card comes through. And as the card comes through, the holes correspond with the keys. The key pops up into the hole, opens the valve up in the main wind chest down here,
Yeah.
and lets the wind to the various pipes, and that's how you get the music. So quite a simple system, but the clever bit obviously is the man who puts the music onto the card
Absolutely, yeah.
and knows what he's doing. And they do say this is the forerunner of the modern day computer.
Yeah.
Because all a computer does is store information. Well, that's what this card
That's
is
stored
doing.
information. That's
Yeah.
programmed information, isn't
That's
it?
all
Down
it is.
there,
Yeah.
So as that's running over those keys will be kept flat
Yeah,
until
yeah,
they get to
yeah.
a hole,
Yeah.
and then they pop up.
That's correct. Yeah,
Right.
it's spring loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I'll set it playing now. If you look down there, there's a drum. That's about the only thing that you can see moving while it is playing. But
That's brilliant, that. Now we can see it going through. Yeah, and who would have made these cards, and where would they have come from?
yeah, they're made in Belgium. We can still get them. These aren't very old. I'll just knock it off. just knock it off while we talk. But yeah, the music is still available, and it's a very specialist interest. Is the organs now, but in Holland and Belgium, it's quite a big interest. There's companies in England, there's companies in Holland, there's companies in Belgium where we can get music, and basically any tune that you like, the arranger will put onto the cardboard and arrange it for the organ.
So even if I wanted like a modern day tune now, they could put that onto card and...
You could have some Gary Barlow tunes, you know, whatever you wanted, put onto card. I don't tend to go that way. I'm a bit old-fashioned.
Keep it more traditional.
Yeah, but there are people with organs who have modern music on. Yeah. So yeah.
That's brilliant. Spot on. Right, we'll back out slowly.
Yeah, just mind the steps, they're a bit slippy.
I'll
set it playing.
You set it playing, we'll finish it out here.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, well, Anthony, that's been absolutely spot on. I really enjoyed that. That is fascinating, that organ there.
Yeah.
I think I might have to have a look at more of them in the future as well. They're quite.
Well, whenever you're passing, you know I have a few more under my shirt.
I know you've got one or two more, and a few tractors as well.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
Speaking of tractors, upcoming. Come on, tell them what's
Goosner and Longridge Show, 6th of July. My son and myself organised the vintage tractor section. It's a great little local show. We've got some great cattle there, some good stalls, lots of dogs. But the tractor section is very special this year because we're doing a promotion for the Nuffield, Leyland and Marshall story. So I don't know how many tractors we've got coming, but we usually have 60 or 70 there. And then the culmination, the finale of it all, the tractors sort of go around the ring and we play Land of Hope and Glory. And the hair, well, they won't for you, but the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and everybody has a good time. So if you can get to Longridge on the 6th of July,
it'll be a fair sight.
It's a good show, yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Auntie. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, James. Thanks
Absolutely
for coming.
spot on. Brilliant.
All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Right, ladies and gents, we now move on at the Chipping Steam Fair 2024, and I'm now joined by Gilly Lomas of GW Lomas & Sons, who's going to show us quite a special engine celebrating a special anniversary, which I think is 100 years old.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
year. So, Gilly, talk us through the engine that you're showing off today. What have we got?
Okay, so the engine was bought by New Mills District Council in 1924, and it's just had its 100th birthday on the 18th of April. So this is a steamroller that would tarmac the roads locally, and it was bought 1924 and it was sold in 1969.
Right.
But it worked its life for that length of time.
Yeah.
So it was
with the council.
Yeah, it was a good length of time working. There's a lot original on it. Dad did boiler repair work when he bought it in 1987.
Right.
Of two local chaps.
So what did it do in between, you know, sort of retiring from the council until you guys had it?
So two other gentlemen bought it, Norris Lawton and Frank Hardman, and they kept it in the local area. That was in New Mills, Derbyshire, where it's lived its life.
Yeah.
They did some repair work to it, and then when Dad bought it later on in 87, Dad then did major boiler repair work and also did restoration. Dad on there doing.
There he is, man himself.
Dad's the one that's always doing the polishing. So Dad's just doing some technical polishing in there, polishing the valves.
So it's looking good, isn't it? It's a very smart, tidy machine.
It's hours and hours of cleaning.
So what other work have you done it since you guys have had it?
So every 10 years you do something called a 10-year strip down, and that's a big boiler. They check the boiler, which is here, which is due this year, so it's due a 10-year check. Yeah. So every year you have to have, in effect, like an MOT. So that's a boiler inspection.
Yeah.
You have something called a cold test, and then they do a hot test to check that no steam's escaping from the wrong areas.
Right.
But there's always a bit of a job. You have to maintain them.
Well, that's it, because essentially they are. They're a bomb ready to go off, aren't they? When
A very, very hot bomb, yeah. So last year, the big job was that Dad had the tyres rubbered.
Right.
So these were steel, but now these are rubber. So
right.
for safety, if you were working on the road,
Yeah.
they'd want to be steel, but they should last hopefully a good 10 to 15 years.
Right.
The newest thing is the pin here. Dad's just made 2 new pins. So these are new driving pins. So we just had a little fault on there last week, but Dad got in his lathe and did his thing.
Yourself, did you?
Yeah, so
Right.
Dad's made these. So these go right through. In effect, it creates a diff lock, so
Yes, that's
it drives your
yeah.
wheels.
And do you manage to get to many shows and events and things like that?
We do about 11 to 13 a year.
Really?
Yeah, so this is transported on an Arctic lorry.
Yeah.
Dad made the lorry, the engine fits on the lorry.
Yeah, it's better fit.
Yeah, so we winch that on.
Yeah.
So we go all around the country.
Right.
So this is only our 2nd show out this year, but we're on the bounce now. We've got,
That's it, you're away now, is it?
yeah, got quite a few.
Right, so this is 2nd round.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And is this Chipping Steam Fair, is this one that you come to regularly?
We try to come to this every year because we like this show. It's
Yeah.
really good. And we go down to the village. If you come a bit closer, I'll show you there. I'll lift this up so you can see.
So I'll see if we can get around this side.
So this is something that's a bit of fun. We're cooking tea. That's the jacket potatoes for tea later on.
Right.
So just through there, I don't know if your camera can pick it up.
Yeah.
They're your tubes.
Right.
So that's the fire comes through here and up through the chimney.
Yes.
You know, it's drawing the smoke up
That's
there.
it, yeah.
So that's cooking tea in there.
Yeah.
That's a bit novel. There's usually like a joint of ham in there or something. So
Totally self-sufficient.
they'll be in till probably about 6 o'clock at the temperature that we're running it
It'll be
at
spot
today.
on there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
brilliant, that. And as well as the shows and taking this directly to a show on a wagon, do you ever road to any shows or anything like that?
We don't do too many. Where we live is quite hilly,
Yeah.
but in New Mills, where the engine lives, we will road there because it's about 2 or 3 miles to where
All
we're
right.
going. But this is 2.5 hours away by road.
Yeah.
It'd take us a while to get there.
That's it.
So the top speed of the engine is 7 miles an hour, even with the rubbers. So it's nice to travel probably at 5 miles an hour. Traction engines can do a little bit more. They might be maybe up to 12 to 15 miles an hour, some at a nice pace.
That's it, spot on. Well, Jilly, thank you very much for your time. It's perfect, that.
Yeah,
Good
thank
to
you.
have a look around your engine.
Thank
and,
you.
get a bit of history. So that's great. Thank you very much for
lovely
your
to
time.
meet you.
Spot on.
Thank you, thank you.
Right, ladies and gents, we continue our coverage of the Chipping Steam Fair 2024, and I'm now joined by Mr. Eddie Atkinson of Atkinson Trailer Hire. So, Eddie, you brought a few things to the event.
Yeah.
What have you brought? Talk us through it.
Right, so first exhibit
Where should we start?
here. First one we've got here is a 1916 Foden First World War steam wagon. Foden's of Sandbach, quite famous for making trucks.
Absolutely.
Started life making steam wagons. This is one of an example that they built for the War Department during the First World War. This one saw service in France.
Right.
It's a tipper,
Yeah.
so it would help with reinstating the roads up to the front lines and all the rest of it. Foden's made 2,000 of these.
Really?
Yeah, we think this is the only surviving tipper.
Yeah.
Most of them, they reckon the third didn't come back. Some did stay in France, which this one did. And some came back to Foden's, got reworked and went back out, badged up as something else.
Right.
So this one stayed in France, ended up working Normandy way somewhere, and then got laid up in a barn. And an English fella, he got wind of it in a barn and brought it home in the 70s. Did a bit of a restoration on it, and then the current owner, Mark Wilkinson, he bought it in January 2011, and he's done a few bits. Small amount of boiler work, new cab, new body, repaint, new gears. few other bits of stuff.
Yeah, it's smart, isn't it? It's smart.
Lovely, yeah, it's lovely.
And what's she like to drive? Because you've obviously driven this quite a lot.
Yeah, we've done quite a few miles with this.
Yeah.
It has actually done London to Brighton run, you know, the historic vehicle. Yeah, it's done London to Brighton before. But yeah, it's quite a capable thing. It's quite nippy on the road. You know, you'll be cruising at 12, 13 mile an hour, which...
It's not a massive handful, is it? Like, you know, you get some of them that are a bit of a... quite involving.
It's quite manageable. It's easier with two of you. You know, you have one of you, he's the driver, he's steering and driving, which is unconventional really, because you get on a normal traction engine or a steamroller.
Well, that's it. You've got your engineer and you've got your steersman, effectively.
Yeah, you basically got your driver who looks after the fire and everything, and then the other fella's just there to steer it.
Yeah, pointing in the right direction. Where this is.
But with this vehicle, your driver steers, and then you just have a fireman at the side of you, and he's there to help you with navigation and indicating. And obviously, if you want to change lanes, it's a little bit difficult. And
that's it.
Modern traffic's not ideal. So.
And this has had a bit of 15 minutes of fame. This has it. This was it in Wonder Woman? This.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So
I don't like to talk about it, but it was the highest grossing female superhero movie of all time.
Right. You've got that fact story.
Oh no, it's just rolls off the tongue now.
Yeah.
No, we did 3 weeks filming for Wonder Woman, and if anybody's seen the film, there's a fight scene at the end with Wonder Woman, and I think it's Ares or whoever.
Something like that, yeah.
And Gal Gadot, she gets thrown against the tipper, and the chassis breaks in half.
Clearly CGI, that didn't quite happen, did it? They didn't put this back together again.
No.
Grant, what else you brought? What else is
right, so Dad's also brought.
Alan's here.
This is my dad, and this is his half-size replica of an Atkinson steam wagon. Atkinsons were made in Preston, Kent Street in Preston, and then later on moved production to the Wantley Dale factory. But this is a replica of one that would have been built at Kent Street.
Right.
It's based on what they called a colonial wagon, so they were built for export. Kendall Street?
We've been corrected.
Kendall
Street.
We've been corrected. So you got your vertical boiler in the front there.
That's
it. And your engine's mounted underneath.
Right.
The lad who made this, very clever fella, very clever engineer, no longer with us, but he did, yeah, it's very good. It's not 100% accurate, so it should have been on solid rubber tyres, it's on pneumatics. It's got Morris Marina brakes on all 4 corners. It's got a transit
steering. Did they work?
Oh, brilliantly, yeah. Transit steering box, and on the back axle there's a Datsun 4-speed gearbox. You know, they were quite a good wagon in the day. They didn't make vast numbers.
Yeah.
And there's only one Atkinson wagon survived.
Yeah.
Which is down in Kent. Yeah, and then at the side of that, we've got a Foden living van. So this is part of the Mark Wilkinson collection again. So there's bits of rope hanging off it, one thing or another. We've just rigged a bit of a temporary sheet up just to keep us dry today. But
that's it.
They made quite a lot of trailers for behind the steam wagons and the traction engines and stuff like that. And they actually built chassis for Jennings, which I think ended up being bought out by ERF.
Really?
Back in in like probably, don't quote me, 70s, 80s. ERF bought Jennings out. They were coach builders. But this chassis was supplied new to Jennings when we did the homework. When Mike found the trailer, he did a bit of homework, and it was one that was supplied to Jennings. So we're 99.9% sure it was supplied to be a living van.
Right.
So Mike's had it rebuilt as a living van, and it's lovely.
Smart, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
Spot on, Grant. Anything else here, or is this it? Main bit here? Or?
Main bit's here. We've got a vintage wagon down in the commercials.
Yeah.
1969 Atkinson Mark II. So pre the term borderer, which eventually they became known as.
Right.
But that was one of the very first ones, and they haven't coined the term borderer by then, so it's known as a Mark II, but
right.
Essentially a borderer.
Got you.
That's been in the family since it was 3 years old. So,
really?
Yeah, we've had that a long time.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah. And is there any relation between your family and the truck builder family?
No, we couldn't. Various people have looked into it, but it doesn't seem to be.
Right, it's just sharing a surname.
Yeah, just Atkinson and Preston. You'd think there would be some link up, but
Yeah.
we haven't found it.
Right,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
But you're keeping the Atkinson truck name alive.
We're trying,
Yeah.
yeah. 5th generation's here now, aren't you?
Here he is down here.
You all right?
What's this lad called?
This is George.
This is George.
Never worked with kids and animals.
That's it, exactly. Well, good stuff. Well, Eddie, thank you very much for your time. Spot on.
No worries,
that.
James,
So
thank you.
No doubt we'll see you about at various other events and
Yeah,
whatnot.
of course.
Many other adventures and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's all good stuff. Grand, thanks again.
All right,
Spot on.
superb, thank you.
Well, ladies and gents, now time to enter the world of the miniatures. I don't just mean Matt's statue. This is Fitter Matt. We've heard his name several times, mainly off his boss, Greg Pinder. So Matt is going to talk us through some of the exhibits that are here, in particular miniatures. Matt's got one himself. So Matt, should we start with yours, which is
start here,
award-winning as well?
Yeah.
Come on, what you got?
We've got a 6-inch Foden, C-type,
Right.
long wheelbase, built between 2014, 2018, and I purchased it in 2020.
Right. And did you have to do much to it?
I've rebuilt the engine itself,
Right.
just made it a bit better. We've just done the back axle and the brakes, so now we can stop.
You can that's always good. I
Yeah.
remember you taking me for a spin in this, and that was a bit fun.
Yeah. And yeah, we went to the pub on it last night. It was a great bit of crack and overtook everything on the way home.
Because it's not slow, this
It's
is
not
it?
slow at all. No, it's scary
We've
fast.
clocked this thing at like 30 mile an hour or
Yeah,
something.
getting on that way.
It's a bit wick.
Yeah,
as you
we
might
don't
say.
like to do that, that's thrashing it, but it'll cruise nicely at just less than 20, like.
Yeah, just potter
Yeah.
along. And it's one of them machines as well, because like we look round this show, there's a lot of, obviously there's a big steam engine.
Yeah,
But they've got to pick and choose when they take those out. With yours, if you fancy it on a Sunday,
Yeah.
you frap this up, you take it
yeah,
out.
it doesn't take long to steam
No.
up, and away you go.
No, it's very usable, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right, so shall we meander down the line? You can
yeah.
point
So
to
this next one, that's basically the Foden again. It's a 4.5-inch scale. So it's basically just the next size down from
Right.
me on. And he's got a lovely trailer that goes with it there. And he's come to the show quite many years as this one.
enjoying the sunshine now. Now the sun's come out.
Right, again, 6-inch Foden wagon, but the short wheelbase version.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different is this one.
That's smart, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks cosy in there when you're in it.
I
But,
bet. You'll be
yeah.
alright in there, won't you?
I'll be all right in
Yeah, I'm a bit knackered.
there.
Who I'm in there, no?
Yeah. A lovely turned out machine, this one.
It is,
like, yeah.
very nice that.
Yeah, but this is on the pneumatic tyres, so
Yeah.
it's a bit nicer on the road probably.
Right. Is yours, with the wheels that you got, is that a
they're
bit more
solid.
in keeping?
In keeping. Well, they did both, you see. That was
Right.
like, on the full size, it was an option of
Oh, right,
pneumatics.
right.
Later on, the later
Yeah.
wagons had the pneumatics, the early ones had solids.
Front axle
And he's
suspension
actually
as
got
well.
front axle braking on this.
Has he?
Yeah.
I know what that's off. Right, we move on.
Yeah. So we've got Fowler, John Fowler of Leeds. This will be a 4-inch single cylinder. It's nice and it's working close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks ready to go, that one, doesn't
it
it?
does.
Sound. Right, rattle on. There's bloody lots to
Same.
go out down here, isn't there?
Same again, 6-inch Foden, long wheelbase.
So this is very similar to yours,
Very
this one.
similar. Pneumatic,
Sounds like you know,
yeah.
when you've been out.
Pneumatic tyres again. It is a long wheelbase, but he has cut the back down a little bit just to make it easier to cart about, put in
Yeah.
a van. So we've got a 6-inch Garrett here, Bernie from Blackpool, coming to the show for many years with this. And this goes really well on the road as well.
Yeah.
Cramps on, and he does many road runs with it. He clocks up thousands of miles on it.
Really?
Yeah, thousands of miles.
Oh, dear. Fair thing, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely thing.
Very nice. Oh,
4-inch Foster. Martin's just got this one, so this is first appearance with it.
first outing.
Yeah, Yeah, great little thing. I'm actually building one of them myself.
Are you?
Yeah, at home, yeah.
Oh, same
It's
as
exactly
that.
the same as that,
Right.
4-inch Foster.
When can we expect that one out?
Whoa,
Oh.
couple of years.
Well, Greg keeps keeping
Yeah,
me
that's
busy with all this.
keeping me busy, yeah.
With these classic scrap, what we call it? I don't know.
A bit of everything.
Yeah.
So we've got a Burrell here, single crank compound, so it's single conrod,
Yeah.
but running the double cylinder.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of these about in
Yeah.
the working days. These are the main Burrell engine that they had like, for the agricultural use, and like this one with the solid flywheel would have been a road locomotive.
Right. So it's
So,
done a bit of all sorts.
Did a bit of all sorts, yeah, yeah. There's a few round at the beer tent, I think. That's
Is
where I've
there?
got some gaps.
Is that why it's a bit
yeah.
quiet?
Yeah, the sun's out now, so they've all gone round there.
Sun's out, beer's out,
Yeah.
job is good. Well, we'll go up this side, we'll go back down that side,
Yeah.
and then job is a good one. So
again, this is
another Burrell.
It'll be a 4.5-inch Burrell, but this is the single-cylinder agricultural engine with a sport flywheel, and like I say, just single crank to a single cylinder.
Yeah.
So not like the one previous.
And how close, like we've just seen a load of miniatures now, how close would these be to the actual full-size ones?
They literally are exact near enough.
Just
most
scaled down.
of them, every scale, your nuts, bolts, it's all scaled.
Even
Yeah,
even
even got the
vice.
scaled little vice.
scaled down vice there.
Yeah.
Right, smart, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, it's just,
A lot of these engines that we've got, they'd like they'd be old engines. They've probably been built in like 1990s or something like
Oh,
that.
right.
And the paintwork gets a bit, a bit grubby on them.
Yeah.
But it adds to the
it
patina
does,
of them.
it does, it makes
And
them look
plus,
like the
If
full-size.
you like to use them, if
Yeah.
you've got something too clean and shiny, you're not going to want to use it or take it out at shed, are
Well,
you?
that's it again, like we were saying before, they are
Yeah.
very usable, take them out on the weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if there's a show on or not.
No, this is a single cylinder Fowler, be a 4-inch. So very similar to the Burrell in design, but yeah.
Don't let Fowler people hear you say that.
No,
Who's going to kick off now?
Yeah,
isn't
it is, yeah.
Internet's kicking
Yeah,
off.
it'd be
I
nothing,
can feel it.
it'd be nothing like.
I can
nothing
feel the
like.
comments coming in
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. But this is the agricultural again.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, like the agricultural
Yeah.
design,
Ag
sport
spec
flywheel.
is what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ag
light
spec.
flywheel, ideal for thrashing.
Yeah, that's it. So, like, your solid flywheel then, what was that wanted for then?
I think it adds torque to the engine for the road locomotives to pull harder.
Oh, right.
So you've got more weight sending crank round,
Yes.
and when you won't die down the same on the hills.
Yeah, this looks nice.
So this is a freelance design. So this is literally just somebody's
Anything you want?
come up with an idea and thought I'll make a traction engine out of that.
That's
and
cool, isn't it?
they're a fantastic thing, really.
Yeah.
You
it's
some
well done.
clever engineer has made
that
that
looks
just
nice.
from nothing.
Yeah, just
Just
thought,
bits
we'll have
and
a go.
bobs they've had about, yeah.
Yeah. Have we got one more in the lineup?
One more.
Last one.
He's thrown it on trail a bit, looks, because he doesn't like the weather.
No.
But these things are heavy. I mean, they soon sink in grass.
Yeah.
This is a Garrett agricultural single cylinder. Be a 4-inch or a 4.5. I'm not for sure. But
The ag spec ones seem to be quite popular.
they're very
aren't
popular.
They? Why
yeah.
are they so popular?
They're possibly easier to build. I think. There's,
Right.
like the. You've got a single cylinder. You've only got one cylinder to machine and make. One
Yeah.
conrod. It's very popular. Like
There we
they're just
go.
a nice size. Put in back of a trailer or back of your van
That's
and get
it.
to shows.
Custom built trailer
Yeah.
here. Is that what you're going to be needing for your?
I'm going to have something like that
Well,
soon.
you could have your 6-incher pulling your 4-incher.
Oh, I could, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be right. Be sorted.
Yeah.
Right. So just before we wrap up, I believe we've got some awards, have we? What's going-
We have. It's unfortunately we've lost one of our miniature lads, Mark Bousfield, but his family wanted him to carry on the
Right.
chipping, so he wasn't. Well, he's not going to get forgotten, but so his memory lives on at chipping. So they decided they'd get an award and present it. So his family have come down today, and they've gone up and down the miniature line, and basically they didn't want it to go to an engine as such. They've decided that it wants to go to the youth and the upcoming
Yeah.
steam.
Yeah. Keeping that.
Keeping it going.
Yeah.
And most of all, the great thing is they decided to choose our Lexi.
Yeah.
'Cause she
Your
can
daughter
manage.
Lexi.
She's done a lot this weekend, helping out, and she's always on steam engine and going to the shows. So it was really lovely touch today that the family came down. We did a big presentation with the miniatures behind, and I'm sure you'll see pictures. And yeah, thank you very much. It's great, isn't it, Lex?
Spot on.
You've won that. So next year, it's our job to choose the
Oh,
next
you're
up and
the
coming.
judge for next year.
I'm the judge
Right.
now for next
So
year.
picking
No,
that.
I'm a judge.
Yeah,
you're the judge, right? I think we better get that right.
Yeah.
Judge and boss by the sounds
Yeah,
of it.
so we've
Yeah.
got to choose an up and coming steam apprentice, we'll call
That's a
it.
great idea, isn't it?
So,
Rather than just the machine.
and Mark's memory lives on at Chipping,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Spot on. Well, Matthew, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for showing us around. That's great, that. And yeah, no doubt we'll see you on another adventure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Greg's got something else.
I'm sure he hasn't finished his collection yet.
You reckon?
No, there'll be something else in the pipeline.
That's it.
So, all right.
Spot on. Cheers
Yep,
for that.
no
Thank you.
problem.
Nice
Yep.
one, Lex.
Thank you.
Right, ladies and gents, we're now joined by the man, the myth, the legend that is Mr. Geoff Slater. Long time, I suppose, involvement in Chipping Steam Fair, and what better way to finish with than our coverage of the event than with this man. So, Geoff, tell us about the event. I mean, we've just seen a few emotional moments, you might say. You know, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on
Yeah,
in my
go on,
head
tell
most
us.
of the time. What can I say? My dad set this up. We Mary Harrison 25 year anniversary next year. We're going to have a bigger next year. But every year we've got bigger and better, hopefully. Ploughing engines, we've got them running.
That's
cultivated.
a real sight, that, this weekend.
Real
Unreal
sight. A little bit tearful. I promised my dad before he passed, and we've done it. This wouldn't happen without volunteers of the future. We've got a lot of younger ones coming through the ranks, and they are absolutely brilliant. The lads who set this up through the week, absolutely brilliant lads and girls, caterers, the background on this, all volunteers, all for charity this. We put money into our local community. It doesn't go elsewhere, it goes into the
Stays round here.
Stays round here. My dad always insisted on that. Mary Harrison's insisted on that. It stopped for proper charities, for proper people. And we have, this is why we do so well. We try to make it as friendly and as happy as we can, with weather permitting.
That's it. Well, even when it's chucking it down, we're still smiling.
We're still
still smiling.
Still smiling. So, yeah, it's done really well. We've put a lot of money into Chipping Village. We've put a lot of money into the village hall, the football pitches, the church, the local clubs, scouts, girl guides, cricket club. So it all does really well. Only thing we can't sort out, like we say, is the weather, but we do our best.
We just roll with that one.
We just roll with that one. We like a paddle. We like a paddle. So
That's it. You got to go with the ups and downs. You like last year, we were paddling in dust last
we're
year.
paddling in dust.
Whereas this year, it is a bit damper. We've had a few heavy showers. You put a lot of effort into the infrastructure of this event over the years. Your family, obviously they put a lot of drainage work into this, the roads into this,
Yeah, we didn't have no money when we set off. We begged and borrowed to get this on. We were having tractor and trailers running stone out of Dunsop Bridge, and we were having to get 8 load a day to pay for tractors. We were running them day and night just to get these roads in. My dad never stopped working on this, even when he were poorly. He were coming down every day to get this, and this is where there's a building we're looking at here. Was not a same colour as sheet on it because we couldn't afford them. We got some given.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mismatch that.
You can only see it underneath. We painted top of it, but it's still up. It works.
It's still there. It's still going strong.
Still going strong, and hopefully it'll keep going strong.
That's it. And we're now in one of the important parts of the show.
Yeah.
We're at the beer tent.
Have a beer tent, have a dancing stage for me later. Yeah, all good. But we need everybody coming, fill the buckets, and get more to charity as much as we can.
Jobs are good. And just going back to those ploughing engines there, because that's something special, that, isn't it?
Something special you want. There's only quite a few shows, Shrewsbury and Dorset, which are the biggest shows in this country, have them. And every time we went down to Dorset with the family, we need to have that, we need to have that. We've only got so much room to have the show, but we've done it. We've had the construction and the ploughers in the same field. And the lads with the ploughing engines, they've absolutely pulled the tripe out to get here, and I do appreciate it. And all the lads with the engines are all brand new, they're spot on, always courteous and kind, and we have never any bother with them at all.
No, it's been absolutely spot on. So, if you can, next year, May Bank Holiday Weekend, the second Bank Holiday Weekend.
Second Bank Holiday, it's our 25 year next year.
Go on, what are you going to do? Come on.
We'll do something.
What's in the pipeline?
Well, I think I might have, with the ploughing engines, I think I might have been a year too early, but we'll have the ploughing engines back, but we'll do something, we'll have it bigger and better. Every year's another step up, but even I'll get more machines in, make more of a mess, hopefully not make a swimming pool like this year, but all good.
Spot on. Well, Geoff, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Perfect.
you, James.
We'll have a pint now. Cheers to you, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed our little bit of coverage of Chippy Steam Fair 2024. Hopefully we've given you a little bit of a flavour. Like we say, if you can, next year, get yourselves down here. It's a good crack.
Good crack.
Don't matter what the weather's doing, it's a good crack. It's always good. So like I say, I hope you've enjoyed that. As ever, go check out LandPowerTV.com for loads more of our shenanigans like this, of which we've done many. Go check those out, and for now, as ever, thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.
I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy in a country